about the Overwatch League All Access Pass. Latula Pyrope says, what's your inspiration for the name Rawkus? Okay, so it's kind of lame, but I was playing World of Warcraft like most of my childhood, I guess, and there was this guy on my server named Rawkus, and I took his name, so there's not really anything excitement about that. So that's it. Joru says, what place would you like to visit and why? I really want to visit Tokyo, actually. I don't know, it's some place I've always wanted. Like, I was living in New York City for most of my life, so visiting Tokyo was something it was like another huge major city, and it shared like some similarities because it's such a major city and like so many people like travel there and want to like be there and etc. It's pretty much the only reason why I wanted to, because it just reminds me of New York City. Aboard underscore says, what support would you recommend to someone who has never played it yet has interest in it? It's kind of hard because the thing about supports is like the two best supports right now together, Zen Mercy, and you want to learn. Maybe actually I would recommend Mercy because there's never a bad time to have a Mercy right now. It's fairly easy hero to play. It's no aim required, and it's just good positioning and good communication, and that's all you really need to play Mercy with. So definitely Mercy, and then my second favorite's Ana. I probably wouldn't play it in ranked unless you're gonna get people like that don't like you. So yeah. Oi Fang says, which characters can you play at Grandmaster level? So I kind of pride myself in being diverse. I like try to practice all the heroes I can in ranked, especially. I have like one account that's like very high, top 500, like top 100. It's basically just a DPS account, and then I have a Hanzo account. I have a pure support account. Basically, I can play every single hero besides Ryan. I just suck at Ryan. Ryan is so bad for me. It's like my worst hero. I'll probably not that good at like Symmetra, so that's a good thing. But yeah, pretty much everything besides Ryan Symmetra. Yoshiman20 says, during the beginning of OWL, what do you think was the most impactful for you? I'm confused by that question. What do you think was the most impactful for you? So I'm gonna skip that question. I don't know how to answer that actually. So, all right, sorry. Ventus Leonidas, why did you choose to become a support player? So before I went pro, I was making a couple open teams. Back then there wasn't really open; it was more casual, and I had players I wanted to play with, and I was a DPS player back then, and no one else wanted to play support, so I was like, fine, I'll play support, and that's how I started playing support. And then ever since then, I felt like it fit my like strengths as being a good communicator, and at the time I was playing Lucio, so I was a good leader, and that's why I enjoy playing support now. I have very good communication, and I basically never stop talking, so that helps you be a good support player. So that's why. Tia Mosquito says, when playing Zenyatta during a fight, is it better to primary fire or secondary fire, and why? So basically, before most fights start, you want to start off with a primary fire a secondary fire to see if you can chunk like a tank like super hard before the fight starts, because if you can, or even get a pick on like a DPS, that's like huge value for your team. The tanks start low HP while you're engaging, and then your tank isn't that low and their tank is. So basically, that's when you want to start it off, and then after that, after your initial right click, you want to just push in with your team and start primary firing nonstop. There'll be times where like in the middle of the fight, after like the fight devolves, it'll take a while sometimes, and then you can treasure put in the right click and look for like the Widow or the Zen or even another tank again, like maybe the D.Va that's not looking at you. So those are the times you want to use your primary fires and your secondary fire. It depends. So it's hard. That's a hard one to answer. Zero Donut says, actually, sorry. Husrent says, what's your workout routine? I only squat. That's all I do. I only ever squat. There's nothing else. Nothing else is worth my time but squatting. Breezy OW says, who is your favorite teammate to hang out with and talk to? Probably, I love everyone on my team actually, but I talk to Coolmat probably the most. We share like a lot of similarities, and we enjoy all the same games together. We both played WoW. We both played like thousands and thousands of hours and years of our time and life spent on like games. So we have like a common relation with that. I definitely I enjoy like the same food as him. Definitely not the same movies or music, but like everything else the same. So I talk to Matt the most, and he's probably my favorite to hang around with. Cindy says, how dedicated would you say you are to your hair? It's always on point. I'm dedicated to keeping it long and look nice, but the real work is, the makeup people, especially Rosa. She always does my hair perfect. She takes more time to do my hair because she knows how much it means to me, and she's also like amazing at doing it. So I credit her completely. What made you become? What made you want to become a pro at Overwatch? So I played a lot of games before Overwatch. WoW, a bunch of other games. For me, it was basically I admired the other pros at the other like levels of other games, etc., like first-person shooters or RPG, anything really. And when Overwatch first came out, I was playing it nonstop. Basically, I was playing it casually. I wasn't looking to go pro, but I played it like so much casually that I was really good at it, and I realized that I could, do this when people were telling me that I was very good. And there was like stuff that I got number one on a website called Master Overwatch, and then everyone was like messaging me saying I was number one. I didn't know that at the time, and then I got contacted by some people. Even Huck contacted me. It was just like that's what made me realize I could be a pro. It's like these people telling me that I was good and people were interested in me, so I decided to pursue more time. Then I quit my job, and that's how I became a pro. Sorry, one sec. Sorry. Kylo OW says, if you could have one drink right now, what would it be? I'm addicted to coffee, so probably coffee. And then if not coffee, then just water or tea. Probably tea, but coffee for sure. Fluffy OW says, who's your favorite hero to play? It used to be McCree. I used to be addicted to McCree. Like I had in season 1, I was like 83 or 84 rated, which was very high back then. It was like top 20, I think. And that was my McCree account, McCree Zarya account. But since then, probably right now to this day, Ana. Ana's like one of my signature heroes that I like got popular on. It was like one of the heroes that I was very, very successful on. And I probably have the most time on her, even though she's not that strong in this meta right now. I'm waiting for the day she makes her return because that is my favorite hero, and I feel like I am very, very good at her. Gumbo Stop says, if you could trade your gaming skills for expertise in another profession, would you? And which profession would you choose? I don't think I would trade it, but if I did trade it, like if I had to, I think I would choose like profession like something like the medical field, maybe like a cardiologist. That's something like I've always been interested in, like hearts and like helping people. That's something like I would definitely do if I had the opportunity to, but I wouldn't trade what I have now because I'm very grateful for what I have now. 2 times says, hey Rawkus, what do you see as your biggest improvement from stage 1? So my biggest improvement from stage 1, I think, would be understanding how like the game flow works. It was something like Western scene before Overwatch that came out was very chaotic, very like frag happy, individual skill. That's why like the Korean teams were pretty much better. They worked together as a team, and they were a cohesive unit way better than we were. I think that now I understand how like the game flow should work and how like our team should work together. What we need to do to win fights. That's probably my biggest improvement. I also understand like I feel like I understand how to like micromanage like certain players that are like not having a good like day. Like if they're feeling that they're like not having a good performance and they feel down, I feel like I can help them and help rally them. That's what I feel like I've improved the most from stage 1. Yeah. Unicorn Magic 103 asks, what is your favorite food? This is a tough one. I think probably my favorite food is sushi. I absolutely love sushi. Japanese food is so good to me. If not Japanese food, then Mexican food for sure. I am obsessed with both. But sushi. CJ Math asks, how much fun did you have playing the World Cup last year? Okay, so the World Cup for me so far is still the most fun thing I've ever done. Traveling to Santa Monica, to prove, to all the haters that the USA was a real team to be reckoned with, and we defeated, they said we wouldn't beat Brazil. We beat Brazil. They said we wouldn't beat Chinese Taipei. We beat Chinese Taipei. They thought that, we were just a bunch of jokesters, they were like talking about why the players weren't invited and that we didn't earn it. And it felt very good to like, silence them. People thought we were going to also get destroyed by South Korea, and we put up a very good fight. And they were very prepared for us, but you can't really beat, Flower, who has 80% accuracy. That was kind of the, our reckoning. So by far, probably Santa Monica was my favorite thing about the World Cup the entire year. Playing all those games just to represent my country, there's nothing more that I would want than to do it again this coming year. So I'm hoping for that. Mixer OW asks, what place to eat out at home and in California? Oh, favorite place to eat in and out. Okay. I don't know. So I haven't been around much. So my favorite place to eat in California is like a chicken place called Portugal Peri Peri. It's just basically Portugal chicken, really good chicken and rice, salmon and rice. You know, whole chickens, half chickens. Probably my favorite place to eat there. In home, I don't cook, so I my favorite meal is nothing because I don't eat at home. So, uh, Cheesy Bread 23 asks, who is your favorite opponent to go against? Uh, Player and team. So I'll go with player first. My first favorite player to play against was Jaehong. I played against him in the World Cup. First time. I never got to play against him, but there was so much hype around him, so it was like very exciting for me to play against him. And then it came into the Overwatch League. We played them in preseason. Really exciting as well, and also pretty much every season or every stage besides this last stage we played him. So I think Jaehong's definitely one of my favorite players to play against because I idolize him as a support player. It's like probably the best. And then favorite team to play against is definitely Nixel. Nixel is one of the best teams at teamwork. They very selfless play style. They very rarely make mistakes, which is like what you need. They play exactly around their strengths. They play around Jonak very well. They have like the best, like, I guess, cohesion as a team. They don't try to do anything extra when they know they could win in a certain way. So definitely Nixel is my favorite team to play against. They're also the hardest, so that's why I learned a lot from them. What are your main priorities in Midfight? Asked by Malibu OW. So my main priorities would probably be, you start off with a fight, you always need to look for a good Discord target because your Discord target is the focus, like, you know, the focus point of your entire team. You're also gonna make sure you're calling it very loud. That is your main priority. So you're Discording, you're calling it, and then you're focusing it. So that is number one priority. Your second priority is keeping yourself safe. You always want to be in like a, you know, optimal position where if you do get dove by a Winston or a Diva, you have your team able to, you know, peel back for you and help you so you're not punished. That's pretty much my priority the entire time: safe spot and Discord target. And then, sorry. And then Mato Aiki asks, how do you and your team deal with the daily stress, and how do you de-stress? So for me, it's like I'm only stressed when I don't know how to. I feel like I'm actually not that stressed. Like, I feel like if I am stressed, the way I'll deal with that mostly is I'll go home. I'll basically be stressed about the game. If I'm stressed about anything, I'll go home. I'll review our practice or our match and see what went wrong, and then I'll focus on that, because if you focus on fixing that, then, you know, you alleviate all that stress, what you're, you know, worried about. So that's how I'll de-stress. And if I'm stressed at all, I'll just, like I said, I'll just work harder and figure out what was wrong, because that's the only solution for me. So yeah, thanks guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Rawkus, and this was, you know, Rawkus from the Houston Outlaws. Thank you guys so much for watching.